All right. We are back for another week on the Holmes Politicast. What has happened this week? So, here's what's happened. Sorry if you're viewing live. Oh, no, we're not. Okay. So, here's what's happened in the last week. Business owners being jailed here in Michigan, and the media doesn't seem too concerned about it, which is, why we exist. The Michigan Health and Human Services Director admits that Whitmer wasn't, quote-unquote, following the science. And, of course, the racism hoax has to continue with yet another racist attack that wasn't motivated by race. I'm Anon Don. This is the Holmes Politicast. All right. Let's get rid of this janky thing real quick. I do my best with what I got, so that's how I get my opening up. So sue me. All right, Donald Trump. Oh, this wasn't. We're starting off with more Donald Trump, craziness, because of course, even though he's not president anymore, the media has a fixation. They can't seem to get away from Mr. Trump. They can't seem to stop reporting on him. So he's back in the news. And that's not surprising. I mean, Joe Biden isn't really giving them very much to work with. I think it's like 54, 55 days now without a press conference. I don't know, something like that. It's been a long time. But regardless, I think Joe Biden has now officially gone longer without a press conference. Well, I mean, the first day he went without a press conference, he went longer than Trump has ever gone without tweeting, but that's neither here nor there. Regardless, we need a press conference from the President of the United States pretty soon. That'd be nice. But here from the former President of the United States, the Detroit Free Press continues their mania against him. So, in a nod to polls suggesting that many citizens of MAGA Nation remain reluctant to vaccinate themselves against the virus he once dismissed as a hoax. Well, he didn't dismiss it as a hoax. He dismissed your reaction to it as a hoax. Freep. But, again, I got to correct the media because they can't get the story straight. Well, they can, they just don't want to. Regardless. Against the virus he once dismissed the response to as a hoax, which it was. Donald Trump recommended Tuesday that his supporters should roll up their sleeves. If they feel like it, that is. Okay. So that's obvious editorializing. They're taking. So I'm going to teach you how to spot the editorializing and the opinions coming from the media. So this right here, they're paraphrasing what he said, in a way that is sarcastic. They're basically, because he said it in a way that, like, Americans are free to get the vaccine, as we'll see. And of course the media has to spin it. And of course it is an opinion piece. So it is that this one is heavy on opinion, but that when you see that kind of stuff in regular pieces as well, that will be editorializing. And of course Brian Dickerson has no idea why anybody would oppose the vaccine, because he worships the state, as most reporters do. So there are many good reasons not to get the vaccine. I'm not getting one. I'm 30 years old. I'm relatively healthy. I'm not in a age group that actually dies of the virus, so I'm not going to put some man-made thing in my body when probably my immune system will take care of it. The God-given thing is good enough. I don't need more. All right, so Brian Dickerson, that's why you are so out of touch with everything and everybody. Oh my goodness, I have I have a, oh, look, somebody's happy that I'm online. Thanks, something random. That's very nice of you. It makes me smile seeing all the little kitties with their hands up. By the way, that reminds me, I know I'm mid-story, but we have an interaction page on MeWe now. So fans can go there, they can post stuff, they can interact with the things that I post. There will be a chat feature, so that's awesome. Okay, so moving on. It is a safe vaccine, and it is something that works, Trump told Maria Bartiromo in a Tuesday evening appearance on Fox News. Yes, I'm a little blind. On Fox News Primetime. I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it. And a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. So that's what he said. Oh my goodness, here it is. Look at this. But in a good people on both sides codicil, yeah. Haven't seen that word in a long time. That was pure Trump. The ex-president gave pandemic skeptics an escape hatch, adding, "We have our freedoms and we have to live by that." And I agree with that also. So, my goodness, Brian Dickerson, you are ridiculous. Got that, Sons of Liberty? There's a safe, free medical treatment available that may save your lives, but you have the sacred right not to take it. Yeah, you're right. We do. You say it may save our lives. You're screaming that it's going to save our lives. Well, guess what? I've seen too many commercials that say, if you've taken this medication, you may be entitled to compensation. All right? I've seen those commercials, Mr. Dickerson. If you've never turned on a TV, which I doubt, then I'm telling you right now that there are many medical things that go wrong. People have thought they have things right for a very long time, and they go wrong. So, Mr. Dickerson, when you're seeing commercials in 2023, it might be a few years. Might be 2027, 28, something like that. If you took the coronavirus vaccine in 2021, you may be entitled to compensation. All right, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. So, Mr. Dickerson, super concerned about my health, hasn't thought about that, then, here I am to tell you, media, there are other people that think differently than you. And those are the people that you're trying to get to read your paper. So, I don't know, maybe don't attack us all as being in a death cult. That's really all I'm gonna go on that. I could get on my soapbox and just go on forever, so I won't do that to you guys. That would be mean. All right. So, PCs and batteries. Oh, guys, I need to plug in my computer real quick. Sorry, I am so sorry, guys. I should have done this before I went live, but I'm an idiot. All right, that's nice. Okay. All right, now I'm all set to go. My computer's not going to die midstream. This one is fun. So this one is from WXYZ, an ABC affiliate of Detroit. Obviously, here you can see the logo. ABC, yay, national news. They're awful. They are awful with their biases. So, it's interesting because they want to help us with our implicit biases, but they can't see their own. So, I just thought this was interesting just because it was being pushed in Michigan, and obviously it's being pushed everywhere. We continue our conversations on equity, diversity, and inclusion with a 1-hour special titled Hidden Bias of Good People, which looks at how the people and ideas we've been exposed to throughout our lives take hold. And while we assume we're not thinking independent, or while we assume we're always thinking independently, we are not. It's called implicit bias. Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. Hold on, Scripps National. I don't know who that is, what kind of name that is. Scripps National. I'd assume that's an outlet, but hold on there, Scripps National. Let me stop you right there. It's not called implicit bias. it's called not being self-aware. Like, people that understand themselves, people that think about their own beliefs, people that, think through this is really distracting. People that think through the counter arguments to what they believe. Those are people, you don't actually have to have hidden biases. You can have biases that you are aware of. I am aware of, I'd say a good share of my biases. I know I have some that I can't see. But that is why I have a church around me. That is why I have scripture to guide me. That is why I have God to tell me, where I'm going wrong. But it's not implicit bias. It's lack of self-reflection. And unfortunately, that is the real pandemic in our culture, is a lack of self-reflection. People don't think about, what they believe. They don't encounter arguments that run up against that because, you can't. You'll be too offended. So, now that I've corrected WXYZ's misstatement, we can continue. So how can we be more aware of our bias and be more compassionate parents, friends, neighbors, and coworkers? Well, first of all, canceled. Parents, that is not allowed. Canceled. They are. You know what? Maybe you can still use parents. I know you can't use mother and father. All right, you know what? I'll forego the cancellation for now, but I'm pretty sure parents is on the chopping block. So this is great. You guys are gonna love this. Dr. Bryant T. Marks, fitting name. Quote unquote minister, quote unquote researcher, quote unquote trained and award-winning educator. Okay. So a minister, researcher, trainer, and award-winning educator. Who is this guy? Because WXYZ is giving us that's a glowing review. Wow, that is awful. There it is. Bryant T. Marks. All right. Oh, so that comes from his own self-description. They literally copied and pasted his own self-description. Wow. Okay. He is founding director of the National Training Institute on Race and Equality and is the professor in the Department of Psychology at Morehouse College. Wow, that is a sad college. I'm sorry that you are forced. Ooh, goodness. I'm sorry. I should turn off these notifications before the show. But I'm dumb. So, this guy looks like he's super well versed. Oh, he has a PhD in social psychology from the University of Michigan. Okay, so yeah, definitely Marks is a fitting name. This guy has no real qualifications to be talking. He went to college and he got a doctorate. Those are his qualifications. So I don't know that that's really qualification. Well, I do know, actually. Those are qualifications that I don't accept. So he goes on to explain what biases are, and you can take this test. Actually, I considered taking this on the air because that might be fun to see if these people are, just to see how crazy they are. But so Tory Burch Foundation. So how do you counter implicit bias? First step is to know your biases. From there, it requires conscious effort. Tony Birch Foundation lists 10 steps you can take. Oh, look at this, guys. Look at this. Identify your biases. Yeah. First step to recovery is identification. First step to recovering is admitting you have a problem, right? Yeah. So, so I guess they're advocating self-reflection here. Oh no. Take the implicit association tests and learn about your different types of biases. Okay, so you know what? I am gonna do this. Just let's see. WXYZ. Let's see how accurate you are. Okay. All right. Project implicit featured task. Project implicit. What is this? Go. I'm just gonna hit go. Preliminary information. Okay. I don't know. IAT test performance with which I may not agree. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just saying this might make you mad. Light skin tone. This IAT requires the ability to recognize light and dark skin faces. Oh, okay. So here's where they go wrong. Here's where this guy goes wrong. I'm glad I did this because here's where this guy goes wrong. All right. So he is saying that your implicit bias is synonymous with your comfortability. So the ability to recognize light and dark skin faces. Well, you recognize faces that you're familiar with, faces that you see often. So obviously, children will have a preference for faces that they see often. Adults, not so much. I mean, like, you know what? Let's see if they think I'm a racist. Okay. Selected. Okay. How warm or cold do you feel towards light-skinned people? I don't care. No. It's basically just asking you, like, anybody would say the middle one, right? Compared with others in my racial / ethnic group, I consider my skin tone to be in my racial / ethnic group, German people. I don't know, we come in a lot of different shades. I mean, my sister, she's whiter than a ghost. I tan like a Mexican. So, I mean, I would assume my sister is within my racial / ethnic group, and our skin tones are so totally different. So I'm going to say I'm somewhat darker because that's what I'm going with. I'm also quite a bit darker than most. I don't know. I guess I'm a pretty dark white guy. I've been called a Mexican. I've been mistaken for a Mexican in the middle of summer. So, and I guess I do have Native American heritage in me. So, yeah, we'll go with that. I'm a minority. I'm an oppressed minority. So actually, my viewers should be shooting up anytime now, because I'm an oppressed minority. But I prefer my skin tone. I would prefer my skin tone to stay the same. All right. I consider my skin tone to be, I don't know, medium, I guess. What I was assigned as a male at birth, and I still oh, that's gonna hurt my score. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is retarded. I'm not gonna do all this. Suffice it to say that these people probably don't know what your hidden biases are. Don't trust them. Do some self-examination, self-reflection. Look for arguments that contradict your own arguments, your own beliefs. That's how you grow as a person. Not by going to some college professor and having him tell you that you're a racist. All right, moving on. Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Yeah, he has a message for us. He says, hold off a bit. Yeah, we're just going to need you to hold off a bit, just for a little while on lifting the COVID restrictions, because we really like the control, and you guys are going to be eating lead if you open up. All right. So, Dr. Anthony Fauci there, that was actually him. That was a clip of him to Governor Whitmer and the people of Michigan. So I promise that's not edited at all. People will be amazed that I got him to come on the show and say that much, but I'm just amazing. All right, so now we'll move on to what he said to the news. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer should, quote, hold off for a bit when it comes to easing COVID-19 restrictions and rising infection rates and the push to vaccinate more residents. So we keep on hearing about these rising infection rates. And something the media doesn't tell you is that we're having a lot less testing done. So obviously we're going to have more infection rate. A higher infection rate. This is something that my grandma immediately saw. We were in the car, and she's just like, "Well, of course the infection rate's going to be higher. They're testing a lot less people, and they're only testing you if you're symptomatic." I'm like, "Wow!" Just like that, she got it. She like it didn't take her even half a second. We heard it on the radio, and that came out of her mouth. I was like, "Well, that's why I can think for myself, because the people that have raised me are able to think for themselves." So Fauci says, I think she's done some really good things. But I'm telling you that just hold off a bit. Okay. Yeah, she's done some really good things. She's got she's got a COVID policy that one state prosecutor is looking at to see if there's any, miscommunication, or to see if there was any, not miscommunication, criminal activity there. So I guess I wouldn't call that a really good thing. Another thing that's happened is she's given a severance package of $155,000 of taxpayer money to her health director with a non-disclosure agreement. We still don't know why he left. There seems to be an indication, which I'm going to talk about this later, but actually I should have talked about. Okay, so I'm going to switch over real quick because Gordon seemed to indicate that he left because the governor was he actually said the governor was uncomfortable with him. So if the governor is uncomfortable with him and they're having disputes, I would say that probably he left because he said, "You're going to get people killed," and she said, "I don't care." That's what I have to conclude from everything that I've heard from Whitmer and Gordon, and with the non-disclosure agreement and all the cover-up. I mean, I think that's what any reasonable person would conclude. And the best of us make mistakes, If Governor Gretchen Whitmer did get a bunch of people killed, I think she should fess up to it. I think she should at least say, yeah, Robert Gordon warned me about this, and then suffer the political blowback. It will be severe, I think. There will be severe political blowback for that, but I think that's the right thing to do. She's the governor; she can do what she feels is right. But if there's legal repercussions, that will be unfortunate for her. So I wouldn't call that necessarily a good thing. We'll see. I'm calling daily a few of our senators to block Elizabeth Hertel's nomination, to get to the bottom of Robert Gordon. I think that more people should. I don't think that's a bad thing to do for our government to be watching each other. So I will put up actually that list for you at the end of the show. You can screenshot it, or if you're listening, I don't know. I posted it on Facebook, I think, or MeWe or something. I don't know. So we'll see about that. He's of course on with who is it? I always forget which one it is. Cuomo. I think it's Andrew Cuomo. No, Chris. It's Chris. Yep. Chris Cuomo's the one on CNN. So of course he's on with Chris Cuomo, the one he was palling around with. I seem to remember his brother over there with a big Q-tip, and now his brother's being forced out of office. So I don't know. I don't think that this is the guy you necessarily should be listening to about COVID, because this is also the guy that was supposed to be quarantined and was making a big theater about it, and then was breaking his quarantine and going to his second and third home and, doing all kinds of things. So that guy is not a guy I trust. This guy is not a man I trust either, to say the least. We'll leave it there. So last week, Michigan reported 11,383 new infections, a 7-week high, the 5.2 positivity rate. The percentage of diagnostic tests bringing positive results marked a 6-week high. So, yes, again, you're testing more targeted, in a more targeted fashion. You're not just testing everybody. This much is obvious. So it's weird that we keep on getting these dueling narratives, these two contradictory narratives. The first one is that Michigan governor is doing everything right, that she's protecting her citizens, that she is that she's protecting the economy and everybody. And then this other narrative that, cases are on the rise, businesses are closing. So they can't both be true. And I'm not going to even suggest which one is true. But my point is that both of these two narratives cannot be true. And the fact that there are some people in Michigan that do hold these two narratives shows the lack of thinking ability of the people of Michigan. So, and I'm not saying the entire population lacks thinking ability. I'm saying anybody that can hold two contradictory claims, that they can say two contradictory things and say them seriously, they cannot, in fact, think deeply about either one. Now, George Orwell labeled this doublespeak, or doublethink, and he said it is a controlling tactic. And it is. Because you cannot believe those two things. Like, it's hard for me actually to explain how thinking deeply about them reveals that they can't both be true. Because a self-evident truth is just that, self-evident. So to explain it, I guess, is impossible. If you cannot see a self-evident truth, then, that is what I think really makes me think that there is not going to be a return to what we had, because people aren't able to think through very many issues deeply at all. The people that are pushing for the COVID-19 vaccination are screaming, save other people's lives, and then one of them assaults me. The people saying Black Lives Matter and we should be treating everybody nice, then assaults me. It's hard for me to explain how obvious contradictions are obvious, but I'm just going to reiterate, obvious contradictions are obvious. So we cannot both have a rising caseload, the pandemic getting worse, businesses having to close, and the governor's doing a great job. Those two narratives have both been trying to be pushed for the last year. Obviously, one of them is falling apart. Governor Whitmer has opened outdoor stadiums. She's undoing a lot of the restrictions that she's had up. So I think she's starting to even realize that her doublethink campaign has gone too far. People are starting to realize that no, maybe you didn't do such a great job, and I think she's starting to see the repercussions of that. So interesting. I went from COVID-19 numbers to Governor Whitmer and doublethink, and that was a weird. Sometimes I'm like, dang, how did I get there? And then I realize, oh man, I have this recorded. I'm going to listen to it later and see my meandering thoughts. And that's going to be really fun. So, as of Thursday, 1.2 million Michigan residents, or 15% of the adult population, had received their complete vaccinations. So that's cool, I guess. I'm really excited about all the people getting their vaccinations. So I went to Meijer the other day and I saw all the vaccine pop-up things, and somebody was trying to like direct me into it, and I'm like, no thanks. But it was, it's so many people just so dependent on, I mean, first they were whipped up into a frenzy, now they're dependent on science, and it is sad. For the record, science will not save you. Okay, moving on. So, a woman who fled oppression in Poland is now facing oppression in Michigan. So that's fun. Supporters were out in front of her restaurant today, actually. I drove by and I didn't see them. I don't think they got there yet, but they were there today. I am definitely a supporter of this lady. Michigan business owners should not be going to jail. And I actually talked with the head of the police, the police union, and he said that county cops will not arrest any business owners for breaking any of the violations. So, business owners, you can break the violations. Only the state police can arrest you. And only the state police will arrest you. It was Michigan State Police that pulled this lady over on Friday. She's being arraigned by Ingham County Court. The judge, Rosemary E. Aquilina. This lady is actually, I'm going to show you a clip. This is awful. This lady, this judge acted just so unprofessionally, and really you can see that she should be recused from this case. She hates the defendant. She was like, oh, you can't have it your way. I'm going to play the whole clip. Where is this? I just found it on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys this clip, because this is Michigan. This is our state. Judge Burger King. I'm sorry, I can't type and think. Okay, so here it is.
This beachfront Verbo is about to become part of an unforgettable vacation memory.
Sorry, guys.
The moment when
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I would like to call...
Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions. Stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no? Are you going to tell the truth? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney?
Mr. J.
Again, say anything again without telling me you're going to tell the truth, and I will
She's just
hold you in
harassing
contempt of court
She's
for 93
screaming
days.
and telling her where her attorney is.
Contempt carries with it 93 days and or $7,500.
This is like she's
You will not
threatening
act
jail
disrespectful in this court.
for talking, for telling
Do
her,
you understand, ma'am?
for answering her question. See, no, look, she's
You
baiting her.
certainly may remain
She's
silent.
baiting her, trying
Where
to get her
is
to say it again, so she
your
can yell it
attorney?
again. This is absolutely awful conduct from a Michigan judge. So that I mean that's got to go. So this judge, remember her, Rosemary Aquilina, she needs to be voted out. Oh my goodness, what is this? My lord, that neck. I'm sorry, the ads distract me. I'm that guy that will, the clickbait gets me, okay? So actually I just want to see Selena Dion. That's Selena Dion. Celine Dion. I don't know what she looked like before. Okay, never mind. You know what? I'm gonna move on. Okay, so basically, they shut down her store. They're trying to get her out of jail so that they can further the legal fight. So that's what's happening with her. So this was something interesting, not really something that like oh my goodness, this is breaking news, but Anne Arundel County has decided to count the next vote by hand. They're not going to be using Dominion voting machines. They're not going to be part of a lawsuit. So that's just a quick little update I wanted to share on Anne Arundel County just because I thought that was interesting. Now the real, I do actually have, I have nothing else for you guys. So that is it for the show today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We, as I mentioned before, we now have a MeWe page where you can go and you can post things and you can, interact with the Homes Politicast. And guys, I am trying to be active on MeWe, so go and promote the page and interact and have a good time with that. Also, I think I had another announcement, but I can't remember what it is now, so couldn't have been too important. That is unfortunate, but I appreciate you guys joining me for the show this week. It has been fun. We will see how everything develops, I guess, and we will be back with you next week for another episode of the Homes Politicast with Anon Don.